Woman with a torn mouth. Imagine this scene: city, night, dim street lights, wet asphalt after the rain. You're walking home, checking your phone, music playing in your headphones. Everything is calm, and then you feel someone nearby. You turn your head and see a woman. She's wearing a long beige coat. She's standing, her head slightly bowed. Her face is covered by a medical mask, a regular one, like everyone else's. Nothing strange, if not for her gaze, empty, cold, and one single question, which she asks in a quiet voice: "Am I beautiful?" You freeze for a second. You answer automatically, "Yes, ... After all, that's how most people are brought up, but she doesn't leave. She slowly raises her hand and takes off the mask. Underneath is a gaping cut from ear to ear, bloody, fresh, as if her face was literally cut open. And she asks again, "And now? If you say no," she takes out scissors, a knife or a blade, and kills you. If you say yes, she says, "Then become like me," and slits your mouth. If you scream and run away, maybe she'll give you a head start, or maybe not. This is Kuchisake Onna, the woman with the slit mouth, one of the most frightening urban myths in Japan, which seems to be not only made up. Too many people claim to have seen her for real. They say that in ancient times, in the Edo period, she was the wife of a samurai, incredibly beautiful, with smooth skin and piercing eyes. But the fame of her beauty attracted too much attention. Her husband became jealous, and rumors of her infidelity reached him. In a rage, he grabbed his sword and said, "If you love your beauty so much, then I will take it from you." He cut her mouth, turning her sweet smile into a terrible grimace. No one knows for sure whether she died immediately or ran away, cursing the whole world. But years, decades, and then centuries later, rumors began to appear on the streets of Japan about a woman whose face was hidden by a mask. And those who tried to talk to her disappeared. The first big surge of fear occurred in the 1970s of the 20th century. In 1979, a real panic swept across Japan. Children were afraid to go home from school. The police received hundreds of messages. We saw a woman with scissors. She was standing at the school gates. She was following me. Some even claimed that they were being caught. Parents began to pick up their children in person. Additional security measures were introduced. Psychologists and journalists argued, mass psychosis, or is it something more? It is interesting that in different regions of Japan, this legend has its own variations. In some places, she wears a surgical mask. In others, a red scarf. In others, she carries not scissors, but a small kitchen knife. Sometimes she appears accompanied by fog. Sometimes she just stands and remains silent, looking after passers-by. But she always asks one question: "Am I beautiful?" The legend says that it is almost impossible to escape from her, but there are several ways to deceive her. One of the most common, to say that she is average, neither beautiful nor ugly. This supposedly confuses her, she loses focus, and you have time to run away. Another way is to throw candy in front of her, especially Beko Am, caramel candies, which, according to rumors, she has loved since childhood. While she bends down, you disappear. The third is to ask her in response, "And you?" or "Am I handsome?" The spirit allegedly does not know how to react to such a turn of events and loses touch with reality for a few seconds. But the main thing is not to panic. Do not scream. Do not run away immediately, although it is easier said than done. It is interesting that Kuchisake Onna seems to adapt to her time. In the past, she wore a traditional Japanese kimono. Now, in a coat and a mask, like most people. In the conditions of the pandemic, she has become almost invisible. And this makes her even scarier, because if before she stood out, now she can be next to you on the subway, in the elevator, in line. You will not recognize her until the last moment. You can find hundreds of testimonies on the internet. I was walking home in the evening, and a woman with a mask turned around and stared at me. I quickened my pace when she did too. I turned and she turned. I was asked this question. I thought it was a joke. I laughed. Then I started having strange dreams. Someone was knocking on the window every night, and then I moved in. She was behind the door. I could see her eyes through the crack. She was waiting for me to open it, but I just sat there, motionless, all night. One story is particularly famous on Japanese forums. It is told by a student from Osaka. I was returning home late, around 2 a.m. I was passing through a narrow alley, and she came out to meet me. At first I thought, just a woman, but when she approached, something was wrong. It felt like time had stopped. No sounds, no steps, no wind, only her. And the question, am I beautiful? I didn't answer. I just remained silent. She tilted her head and smiled. Even through the mask, it was visible. And then she said, "You will never come back the same again." And she left. Since then, the guy has suffered from severe nightmares. He began to have panic attacks. He dropped out of university. He could not forget her look. Today in Japan, Kuchisake Onna is not just an urban horror story. It is part of pop culture. She appears in movies, manga, even anime. But the Japanese are still wary of her. After all, it all starts with a joke, and it ends no one knows how. There are even unconfirmed rumors that she appears outside of Japan. Allegedly in Korea, Taiwan, in the United States, and areas where many Japanese live, there are similar cases. Coincidence? And finally, one of the most disturbing cases happened quite recently. A Reddit user living in Tokyo wrote, "I was walking home from a bar. It was late. There was a woman in a mask and coat standing by the subway. I wanted to pass by, but she blocked my way and asked, 'Am I beautiful?' I didn't pay attention. I answered, 'Yes, very much.' She took off her mask, and I ran. Since then, someone has been licking the door handle. I can hear breathing behind the wall. It seems to me that I am. So next time, if you are walking home at night, and someone on the street asks you a question, 'Am I beautiful?' think before you answer. After all, this question could be your last. Will you choose to say yes, to lie, or to remain silent?"